All right, here is a super quick guide on how to get your attachment point set up in Blender so that titles won't be spinning around your guys. I'm probably not doing this properly. I'm just doing basically a quick and dirty. I think Rips is going to post a better tutorial on how to do this. Also, doing it this way, your belts will show up. But if your characters, if your wrestlers have entrance gear or anything like that, the belts will clip through or be under it. I'll show you what I mean as far as the attachment points, but there are some attachment points you have to move so that the belt will form better, and I haven't figured out which attachment points to do yet. Hopefully we're getting a tutorial on that eventually. But this is just to get your titles on your characters for now, so they're not spinning all over the place. So I have a Jordan Grace from 2K23 already copied over into my modding folder. I'm going to start with a blank scene. I'm going to import the visual contents NVL from the Jordan Grace. I'm going to tick import shape keys and load material textures. Some people tip load attachment points, but I'm not going to do that since we're making our own. I could be doing that wrong, but somebody will point out if I am. So we're going to go into the attire and we're going to click it. And your character is going to load up. And here's Jordan Grace. All right, so over here on the side, you'll see item, tool, view, and MDL tools. You want to drag out the MDL tools, click it. If you don't see it, you'll have to drag this little bar here, right here, so that it shows, because sometimes it's hidden. So pull it out, all right? And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up the skeleton here. You're going to want to highlight everything up to skeleton. You want the pose and everything. Just highlight all of it, okay? But don't highlight the folder name. Just highlight all this. Click Generate Character APs, and you'll see it generated all of the attachment points. Now, here's the important part. You have to open up this AP root. Click the arrow here. It's going to drop open all the attachment points, okay? Otherwise, it won't highlight all of them. So now you want to click on where it says Model APs, right? Go over here and scroll all the way down to your last file. Hold Shift and highlight everything, all right? File, export with the Visual Concepts NVL, and export it into your Attire folder, okay? Make sure all three of those are clicked. Let it wait, and you'll know it overwrites when that highlights. There you go, overwritten. So now right click, don't click delete, click delete hierarchy, because then it's going to be all wacky. All right, you scroll up, then delete the folder. File, import the Visual Concepts MDL from the base model. I still have the same things ticked. I didn't tick the attachment points because some of them don't have it on 2K23, so we're making our own. It's going to load up. Do the same thing. Open up the skeleton, highlight everything up to skeleton. Click Generate Character APs. Generated. Open up that AP root folder. Click Model APs. Scroll all the way down. Shift, click, highlight everything, and then export your MDL, okay? Now there's other things you obviously have to do. I'm sure you guys already know that. In terms of the material, you have to use a cake view to fix the materials and do all that, and then import everything with either cake view or meta, however you're doing it. There are other videos on that, but right now this is just so you can get your attachment points. And like I said, when it comes to delete the hierarchy, when it comes to the attachment points on the entrance gear for your attire, there are attachment points you can move. Well, let's load the attachment points here because I'm going to show you. This is our new 2K24 looking model. So there are attachment points that you can move on this model. If you scroll in, you'll see it. Okay. Now you'll notice that obviously, some of the attachment, this will probably work fine because all the attachment points are outside the body. Okay, all these little things. Sometimes you'll get it to where you see these little globes are behind the gear, like an entrance coat or something like that. I could probably load up one of my 2K24s that are like that. Let me go into the yeah, the FTR is like that, and so is Keith Lee is like that. Keith Lee is a good example because Keith Lee's a bigger character. So possibly somebody out there could have a look at this. Let's load our attachment points. Now you'll see when it comes to Keith Lee, and I've tried to fix this, but it didn't go very well. When it comes to Keith Lee, a lot of his points here are behind his gear. So here's his jacket. I'm going to remove it for a second. You see all those attachment points here? That's how the belt is situated behind that. So your belt will be somewhere. I moved these here. These ones right here were initially underneath his shirt, but it didn't center the belt properly. The belt is crooked. It's still clipping through. So there are certain attachment points that you can move here to get that done. I don't know how to do that. So we're going to need a tutorial on which attachment points you properly need to move around and where they need to go. All right. So until then, though, your belts won't be spinning anymore if you just generate the character APs and everything like that. If there's something very, very wrong in this tutorial, let me know. I'll re-record it and fix it with the proper information. But this is how I get titles and everything to show up on my guys in game for now. Like I said, some will clip under the clothes or through them if they're wearing gear. But if they're not wearing gear, like that Jordan Grace had no jacket, it was just her wrestling gear, it sits perfectly fine on her body. Okay? All right, I hope this was helpful to you guys. I haven't seen much information on how to actually do this.